All right, welcome everybody. Thanks everyone for being here for another edition of our member spotlight. Today we are joined by Maxime, Nelaton, and Mendell, Midy. So welcome guys. How's everyone doing?
Good, thank you.
All right,
good.
welcome
Thanks
everybody. Sorry, I had to mute my mic. All right, so we're going to start with Max. Maxime coming from us live from France, right?
Yeah, true.
All right, what part of France are you in?
Right now, I'm down south. I'm next to the sea. I visited my dad.
Yeah, I was gonna say you look like in a parent's home or something right now.
Yeah. I'm at my dad's house.
Okay, good. All right, Max. Well, tell us a little bit. Give us some background. Tell us how you got into basketball, and ultimately into coaching.
Okay, so my relationship with basketball started like really early. Talking about my dad, he was a player, so I got used to see a lot of basketball on TV when I was just even a baby. But I started playing basketball, like organized basketball, late, just around the age of 12. I played multiple sports. I played soccer, rugby. I come from a big rugby town, track and field, a lot of sports. But I finally took my first basketball license around 12, and then literally fell in love with it. And I never dropped basketball. So in Europe, it's different than in the United States. Basketball, I mean, any sports is not affiliated with school, so it's independent clubs on the side. So I went to school, and then I was playing basketball like every day. I went to two different clubs to be able to play every day, and then I started getting better and better, and then fast forward, I had the chance to play professionally for 14 seasons. I started at 18 playing professionally. In France, we have the chance that there's 4 levels of professional basketball. Obviously, the first division is where there's all the best players and all the import players. Second division also, and then third and fourth division, you make less money, but you're still able to live from your passion. And I had the chance to do that. But even when I was doing it, I was in love with coaching. Before even I started coaching, I was in love with it. So I decided to take my coaching certifications while I was playing. I started in 2008. It's mandatory in Europe. I mean, in France. I don't know the other countries. I know in Germany it's mandatory, in Spain too. But you have to have certifications if you want to be a coach one day. So I started in 2008. I passed all the degrees while I was still playing, and I was coaching youth on the side. I did that for like 10 years, and like 3 years ago, my last certification. After that, the French Federation offered me to come join the the U15 national team staff as a video coordinator. So I accepted it, and I stopped playing. I started looking for a full-time coaching job, stopped playing. And I found the one I had right now, which is a great situation. I'm really grateful with the situation I'm in. I'm currently the assistant coach of professional second division in France. I'm going to start my second year with them, and I'm now deep into coaching. I was supposed this summer to go with the U16 on the European Championship, but you know the story about COVID and all that stuff. Everything is shut down now, so it's not going to happen.
Sure. Okay, Max. So before we get into the coaching stuff, we ask everybody, give us a scouting report on you as a player.
On who?
On you. When you play.
Oh, me as a player?
I don't know why, Max, but I have like a guess of how you were as a player.
Tell me.
You want me to go first?
Yeah.
All right. I feel like you were a guard. I'm not sure if you were a point guard or a two, but you were like super scrappy and like the glue guy, uh, playmaker, could knock down a shot, not automatic, but you could knock one down, and tenacious on the defensive end.
That's partly true. That's
Okay, all
partly
right.
true. The defensive part is kind of true. I'm not sure I was a glue, but I took pride in guarding guys. Like my competitiveness told me to every time on the court I tried to guard the best guard on the opposing team. But no, I was a point guard. I was a shooter. Like I didn't drive a lot. Try to set the plays up and knock shots down when I can. But trust me, basketball is thankful that I stopped 2 years ago. It
How
was
many
the time.
how many threes, standstill threes out of 100 would you make right now
I
today?
practice right now.
Yeah.
Right now, I don't know. That's a good question. Stand still, I'd say 65, 70.
Okay. All right. Solid.
But at practice, in a game, is different.
Sure. Of course. Of course. All right. I want to ask you about the what did you call it? Like the certification that you have to get in France.
Mm-hmm.
What does that entail? Because we have nothing like that in America. It's
Yeah, I know.
like
So
anyone who wants to coach can coach.
yeah, so there's different level, and you have to go through all of them. It's like a ladder. You get the first step, then you go second step, third step. You start. The first one is really basic. Is how you handle yourself on the court, the security for the players, how you dress, where you put yourself on the court. It's all that stuff. And the more you go up, the more details and game oriented it comes. I can't remember, it was in 2008, but lately the last ones is more, you come on the last degree, the last certification, you talk more about game management and the psychology on the side, like during timeouts, after the game, before the games. Yeah, there's many levels of it. There's like 5 or 6 different certifications, and you have to go through all of them to be a professional coach.
Was it like good stuff, or are you like?
Yeah, you learn things. Ultimately, you're gonna learn things, and the more important is that you build relationship. Without it, I'm not sure I would have been able to have like a full-time job at the professional level right away, right when I stopped playing.
Yeah, that's great.
And there's the 3 years ago, there's a certification organized by the French Federation on sports code. It lasts a year. So you're with your club, you're with your team, and once a month from Monday to Thursday, you go to Paris and they teach you how to use sports code.
Oh, nice. Very cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know why we don't have anything like that in America. Like it makes a ton of sense, but we don't. So, all right. So your first like coaching gig was the video coordinator spot. How was that transition? You had already been coaching youth, but now you're like, in the video room, cutting a film all day, every day, I imagine. What was that like?
So I'm still doing it because the job you're talking about, it was like a summer job for the U15 national team. So I was filming practice and then cut it, show tape to the kids the day after. And then we went on to the European Championship, the European competition. And you play every day. So it was in Italy, and honestly, that was the first time I was going to Italy. I didn't see Italy at all. It was gym, hotel, computer, gym, hotel, computer, all the time. It's very intense, but you learn a lot. You learn a lot on a 10-day span. It's incredible how much you learn and how you can be better on the organization. You have to be organized. because you're going to go to bed at 5 a.m., wake up at 8 to show film to the kids and prepare for the opponent. If you're not organized, you're not going to be on time. So it was a great learning experience, and it helped on my current job because, in Europe, our staffs, they are not big enough. It's literally 3 people. We are literally working with 3 people. There's the head coach, there's me, and head and conditioning coach. So I'm still cutting film like every day. I'm with my team right now. I'm the defensive coordinator. I have all the scouting for next opponent, and I'm trying to do some player development stuff. We divide the players between us 3. So that's a lot, but the youth national team competition helped me a lot with like organizing stuff and go fast with sports code and film and all of that.
Yeah, that's awesome. I didn't realize how small the staffs were. So it's really just 2 coaches and then a strength coach.
Yeah,
uh,
yeah,
which is great because you get to do everything. Like you just said, you're cutting a
for sure.
film, you're the defensive coordinator. Like,
Yeah, that's a lot, but I'm not complaining at all. Like really, and I have the chance that my head coach right now, he's giving me and giving us a lot of freedom. Of course, he's in charge; he has the last word, but he gave us a lot of responsibilities, and I'm really thankful for him. And I'm really, really, really lucky to work with him. He's 67 years old. He's going to start his 11th season as the head coach of this team, which is pretty rare in the professional European basketball. 11th season with the same team, and yeah, he delegates. He delegates a lot. So that's a lot of work. It's all day at the gym. You have to organize with your family and your job, obviously. But I'm so into it. Like I wouldn't do anything than what I'm doing right now.
that's awesome.
And I have the chance to have I have the most comprehensive wife in the world. So that helps a lot.
For sure. That's great. Okay, when you get that like defensive coordinator title, who are you immediately like studying? Like, what did you do? Like, what was your go-to?
The first thing I did last year is I went through analytics and film on this league because I've never coached in this league before. So I went into analytics and film to see how much, where the scoring is coming from, how is it coming from. I knew a little bit our players because I've watched a lot of films during the summer, but I watched the game, some film, and I tried to tailor, the best philosophy that's going to fit our team and the league, obviously, because there we can see a lot of stuff. And thanks to you guys, I've been able to see a lot of clinics and a lot of webinars this summer. But and there's a lot of great stuff coming out of it. But it has to be adapted. It has to be adapted with your league, with your players. And like, for example, this year, we're going to totally change the pick and roll coverage because we're going to go from, we'll still have the same point guard, but we're going from a center, very athletic, a beast, literally a beast. He's going first division. He's going to play European Cup next year, into like a delay 5-man. Not an athlete, but a guy with great hands. So we're going to tailor things around that and around our new players. So the goal is not to do what we want to do. I'm trying to build things that are going to help our players succeed in what we're going to put in place. The goal is to help them succeed. If they succeed, we succeed. So we have to tailor things around what we want, but also what they can do and what the makeup of the league is.
Yeah, I love that. That's great. So what is like, Max, what's your like ultimate career goals? Do you want to continue to work up through the French Federation? Do you want to get to the, Euro Cup level? Do you want to come to the, college level in America, NBA? Like, what's your ultimate goals?
Well, obviously for college basketball, it's not for me because I don't have a bachelor or nor a master. But yeah, so I'm really competitive. I'm gonna try to climb the ladder, but I don't want to skip steps. Obviously, the goal is to work within the best league in the world with the best players in the world, which is the NBA. But I'm not gonna skip steps, and I'm trying to take advantage of all the situations I'm in, and I'm in a great situation. I'm tied with my team until 2022. But yeah, after that, I look forward to maybe make a jump into the big league would be good. G League would be good. I see we have to form. I mean, I'm trying to form relationships, not only basketball relationships, like authentic relationships. And with those relationships, I want to know if I'm ready and when I'm ready. It's not. It's good to envision yourself and see yourself in a certain situation, but the main thing is to be ready for it. So I'm trying to do my best in the job I have, and obviously it's gonna lead to something even better. But I'm trying to take care of that job right now. Be where my feet are, like a lot of people say. Um, and I feel like if I'm striving in the job I have right now, the future is gonna take care of itself. But yeah, the goal is to work with the best in the world, and we all know that's the NBA or the G League.
Great stuff. All right, Max, well done. I want to go ahead and open it up for questions. So if anyone has a question for Maxime, go ahead and unmute your mic and ask away.
Max, so in your guys' league, there is the focus similar to the G League in respect to a lot of the focus is on player development to help guys move up to the next level, or are you more focused on whatever you can do best for your club to win games?
I'd say 80% on winning games because in Europe there is a move up and move down system, and it's not franchise. It's clubs with sponsors and all that. And if you move down, you're not gonna have sponsors next year. Coaches is gonna lose their job and all that stuff. So the priority for all the coaches is to win. We have to win the next game. There's more pressure on winning than developing players. But now we can see with some coaches, the mentality is shifting a little bit where they're trying to get good young players as 8th, 9th, or 10th players on your roster and develop them because they're going to be cheap.
Yeah.
It's not going to be big salaries. So there's four teams that going to hire someone for player development, but that's it. That's pretty much it. And like my head coach, like I said, is very open-minded, and he likes to get young players in his teams. He has this mentality, this development mentality, but he's never done it. It just take the young guys and have the guts to play them. And there's not a lot of coaches like that. And so when the quarantine happens, I try to build a development plan that I showed him with the strength and conditioning coach. We did it together because we took 4 young players, under 21 players that we're going to play next year. U20 national team players, profiles, like big young profiles. But in my mind, I was like, yeah, we're going to play them. That's great. There's not a lot of teams who are doing that, but let's play them and develop them. So we try to build a plan that we're gonna try to put in place next year. It's gonna be simple. So it's gonna be 2 coaches, 4 players. three coaches. It's going to be me, the head coach, strength and conditioning coach. We're going to have practice at 10 a.m. in the morning. Each player is going to have to come at 9:15, and we're going to have 45 minutes of individual work before team practice. So we're going to try to do that, see how we can improve. And I feel like we need someone else, because it's good. We're going to have 4 young kids that we're going to try to develop, but we have 11 players on the team. And so I'm trying to preparing myself for the veteran guy who's going to say, hey, what about me? You don't care about me.
Yeah.
You see, that's the limit. And hopefully we're going to try to balance that.
Yeah. Awesome.
Hopefully we're going to find some time during the year. But yeah, winning is first. Definitely.
Max, I got a question for you. You talk about the top divisions have foreign players. Is that the same thing for the lower divisions as well? And for the lower divisions, so if they trying to get a guy from the States, what level do they look at for the 3rd and 4th division you brought up?
Okay, so there's different approach to that. There's coaches that they're not gonna hesitate to grab a rookie. When I say a rookie, is a guy coming out of college. Some others gonna watch in the G League. Some others, like my head coach, he's gonna watch more established American players who already played in Europe. Like the guy we picked up this year, he was playing in Israel for 3 seasons. Before that, he was in Hungary. He already played 1 season in France. He wants established European Americans, if I can say so. And on the second part of your question, yeah, you have import players at all level. There's a system. In our league, we can have only 1 American player and 3 other import player with any nationalities, but not American. In the first division, called Jeep Elite, Jeep put in a lot of money into it. First division, you're allowed to have it's 4 American players and 2 other import, but it doesn't matter the nationality, anything but Americans. And the lower you go, the lower the amount of import player is. In 3rd division, it's 1 US, 1 other nationality import. In 4th division, it's 1 US only.
Thanks, sir.
Okay, great. Any other questions for Max before we wrap it up? All right, Max, great job, man. Well done. We appreciate you being on.
Thank you. Thank you for doing that.
Absolutely. All right, we're going to slide over to our guy, Mendell Midy. Mendell, one of the most active members in the Rising Coaches community. What's up, Mendell?
I'm good, man. Wow, one of the most active ones. I'll hold on to that title.
Yeah, for sure. There's a thing in our dashboard, for our member site, where I can see in the administrative settings, who's made the most posts and who has and they give a reputation score based on your activity. You and Menelik are right there battling for the number.
There you go. There you go. You know what the crazy thing is? I think he reached out to me about that when he first joined. He's like, man, how did you get your? I was like, I don't even know what. He had to take a screenshot and send it to me because I didn't even know what he was talking about.
Yeah, no, it's much appreciated, man. We really do appreciate your commitment to the community. So, but anyways, wow. This is about you, man. Tell us a little bit about your background and how you got into basketball and ultimately coaching, and how you ultimately ended up with your own polo and logo. And all that.
Well, I tell you what, man. I actually started in a soccer family. I started playing soccer. My dad is a huge Brazil fan. You could not tell me when I was younger I was not the next Pele, because that was it for me. Like Max, I actually started basketball kind of late. 12 is when my uncle actually introduced me to basketball. just like, man, you kind of growing a little bit. You might want to start looking at a different sports. I'm like, no, I'm good. And I literally went from freshman to sophomore year from 5'6" to 6'2" one summer. So I'm like, well, he predicted that. But I started playing point guard, and I say point guard because I was just like, okay, I just bring the ball up, I pass it, I run the play, and then I just go stand in my position. That was my idea of playing point guard. When I got to high school, Coach Koki basically said, nope, none of that. This is how the game is really played. And he put me through that rigorous workout. My sophomore into my junior year, excuse me, and really start breaking the game down for me, to a different level. After high school, I was lucky enough to have a few considerations. Unfortunately, found myself at the wrong place at the wrong time and got hurt. That was the last of anybody that was interested in me. The last statement I got was, well, you get better, and when you're ready, you let us know. And I was ready. I reached out, and that was the end of it, which kind of got me into a depression. Was really rough time because I was that kid that only saw myself as an athlete, as a player. So now removing that from me, I didn't know what else to do. Tried to play JUCO, went for a rebound doing a workout, literally nobody around. I land, my knee gave out, and I said, you know what, screw this. I'm sick of putting the work, and I'm getting hurt for no reason. So God must have a different plan for me. 3 months after I got hurt, trying to make it to a JUCO team, my high school coach reached out to me and said, hey, I heard you in a funk, things not going the way you wanted it. Why don't you come and help us out? We got some young guys. You can just help them out and tell them about a program. Some of the plays we're running, you can help them. And that's what started coaching for me. I started helping those guys out and see some of the mistakes that they were making. And I know how big Coach Koki was about developing young players, especially the freshmen and the sophomores coming in. So I kind of gravitated more towards those guys and giving them advice on this is what the next level is. And I did that for one season. I left New Jersey right after that, moved to Minnesota, and really kind of got away from basketball altogether. I had just got married. I had a kid on the way. I did not build enough relationships nor did I understand actually the value of relationships. So I just moved in, went into the restaurant business, general manager there for a few years. And I woke up one day and I was like, man, I'm miserable. I can't do this. So I left Minnesota. I was that out of it. I left the whole state. I moved to Atlanta, and my uncle knew somebody from Lawrenceville who was part of an AAU program out there. He's like, well, I know you were interested in the coaching thing. He'd get with this guy. So I got with him and I started coaching there. And I was like, okay, this is what I've been missing. So from that point, I just coached a whole lot of AAUs. I was never a big fan of high school because of the politics that I saw some of the high school coaches had to deal with. So I focused more on the AAU route and doing the player development, being that I really enjoyed it when I was doing it with my high school. Focused more on that, moved back to Minnesota, got our second kid. Almost said got my second kid. I did not make him on my own, I guess. So got the second one, my son, and really have been focusing on that. Was fortunate to get hired in a school district, so start working with the coaches there and see what they're missing, the stuff that they were on their guys about a little bit more. So I'll pull those guys out. Even though I wasn't part of the coaching staff, I'll reach out to those guys and say, hey, I saw Coach was talking to you about this. Let's meet after school. I'll work you out. and just kind of help them fix some of the stuff that they get criticized on the floor for, and seeing them really grow and become better player. Really, that was my confirmation. Okay, this is where it's at for me. How I get my polo. I was fortunate to go coach overseas. I kind of got tired of the AAU. I got an opportunity to go coach in China. Then there was another opportunity to go to Marseille, Maxime. I was hoping to catch up with you out there, but that kind of fell through with the COVID thing. But the whole time I was in China doing player development stuff, I really realized how important it is and how we over here in the States, we take that for granted, especially at the high school level. Because I hear a lot of college coaches complaining, man, this kid comes in and no footwork. This kid this and no that. And I look at the time that high school coaches have to prepare and some of the restrictions. I know it varies from state to state, but some of the restrictions that they have, I said, okay, there's a market here where I can really help kids be ready for that next level. And here in central Minnesota where I am, it drives me absolutely crazy because anything an hour of where we are, we cannot beat anybody. Anything an hour west in the Twin Cities, any teams you pick here, go plays with them down there, it's night and day. So I said, you know what? And going through a lot of games the last, I say maybe 5-6 years, I'm realizing the difference. One, there's better athlete, but fundamentally we are lacking big time. So I said, you know what? Let me get that going and make that a official business and really work with developing young talents so that when they go, they can step in and be able to contribute. That's basically me and my polo stories.
Oh, I love it. And I appreciate you being so open and honest about your journey and the ups and the downs, like we all have. So I appreciate you putting it out there. So do you feel like you really found your niche with player development?
Absolutely. And the confirmation I got from that came from our guy, Scott Savor, because I met Scott before. Scott is the reason why I joined Rising Coaches, because he had one presentation and he posted it. I saw it, said, well, whoa, what's Rising Coaches? And he basically gave me the website to go check it out. He and I were talking, and he basically asked me, well, what's the ultimate goal for you? Is it to be a head coach? Is it to be a college coach? What is it? And being naive to the trap he was setting for me, I said, well, I would love to be a Division I college coach if that's possible. And the next question he asked, well, what do you bring to the table? If someone's going to bring you in, what exactly is your niche? And it really took me a couple of days to think about that and say, okay, what is it that I'm good at, but I really enjoy to where it doesn't matter where I am, I can do it and have the same type of thing. Because I think that's a mistake a lot of people make. I'm a defensive guy, I'm an offensive guy, but if it's not Division I, then it's not as rewarding, or it's not, if it's not a certain level, it's not as rewarding. Where to me is whether it's Division I, G League, NBA, or a six-year-old kid I'm doing player development with, it's the same enjoyment for me. So that's my niche.
Yeah, that's awesome. What's your approach to player development? Like, what are you doing that yields the best results with your clients or your players?
Well, the first thing for me is really watch the game. Before I even work out with anybody, let's sit down and watch the game. I have a questionnaire that I give players to evaluate themselves. And if they work with a specific team, I'll reach out to that coach and said, hey, I'm working with so-and-so. This is the evaluation that they give themselves. Can you just evaluate them for me as well? So now I'm trying to compare it to see if the player and the coach are somewhere in the same ballpark. And then from there, I'll go and watch a game, or I'll pull up one of their games and really look at it and see what the player is giving me. Is that the same thing? And the player and I will sit down and have that just watch the film. 5-10 minutes, let's watch the film and see, okay, you say you're good at this, but this is the film, I don't see it. So what makes you think or feel that you're good at that? And the second thing, and I've learned that from working with a lot of other player development, get veterans in the game, I try to be as blunt and honest as possible with them. If you suck at this, obviously I'm not gonna tell you, man, you suck, give it up. You know what I'm saying? But I'm not gonna sugarcoat it for you either, because you have a lot of guys, I feel like, trying to boost the kids up, not realizing that boost that you're trying to give them, if it's not genuine, if it's not really the truth, you're gonna hurt them, because the next person is gonna hurt their feelings. So if they come and work with me, I try to be as honest with them as possible. And everything that I do with them, I don't let them just go through the motion. I would end practice. I would end the workout. I've actually refunded one guy his money, because I'm like, if it's not game-like, what are we doing? You want to be better, do it game-like, so that way when you transition in the game, it becomes second nature to you to do whatever it is that you want to do. So that's kind of my approach to it.
Yeah, I love that. And especially like you consulting with the kid's coach to make sure that their self-eval is like aligning with reality, or at least the coach's reality, is great. I mean, that's great stuff.
Thanks, man. And that's especially with the high school kids, because I have a lot of kids that come in, I want to work on ball handling. Say, okay, well, you playing down low, your coach do not want you around the 3-point lines. Why would we do ball handling right away? Let's get you to where your coach wants you, and we can add ball handling if you're looking to play at the next level and you don't have the size or whatever it is. But the immediate need is your post work, is your rebounding. Let's focus on those, and as we continue, we'll add the ball handling for the next level for you.
Hey, I've always wondered this. This is random, but like, how do you get gym space? Is that a constant like struggle for player development guys, or do you have some like what?
It is. Well, the biggest thing with gym space is, one, having the connections, and two, having the name. If you know enough people, you may be able to go into a gym within a school district to help you, especially if the player that you're working out is a potentially D1, high top D2 player that is known in the community. It might be easier for you. The other thing is your name. If you build that name where people know, so you've worked out a couple guys and they've gone to college, now people are more lenient to open up for you. The one thing that's happening right now, a lot of coaches are building their own gym, essentially building a half-court gym somewhere and doing it that way. Because in my district, I reach out, try to see if I can get gym, and it was literally $1,300 a month. And I'm just like, wait, what? Come on now. It's either that or you pay per hour, and they charging you, depends on where you are, $50-$60 an hour to do a workout. So that is the big problem for guys that don't have that cachet with it. But that's why I love summertime, because outside park work just as well.
I love it. All right, Mendell, what's like your ultimate goals? You know, like what are you looking to get out of the game and coaching, and where do you see yourself or want to see yourself ultimately?
My ultimate goal is to help as many players as possible live out their dreams at the next level. Get them as ready as I possibly can. It used to be play at the coach at the D1 level, but it's really not even that for me anymore. I welcome the opportunity without question. Don't get me wrong, but for me right now, it is really do the best that I can and learn as much as I've been learning about player development, offense, defense, schemes, whatever it is, all with the understanding that all of it that I'm learning is to help my guys be the best that they possibly can be on and off the floor. That's really the goal for me.
Okay, great stuff. All right, Mendell, well done. I'm going to open it up for questions. So if anybody has questions for Mendell, go ahead and unmute your mic and ask away.
Yeah, I do have a question.
What's up, Doc?
You just said you want your guys to be the best version of themselves on and off the court. In your program, do you have like a plan for each and every one of them on off the court stuff? And when I say off the court, I include being a good teammate. What's your process to build players on that part of the game? Because to me, it's part of the game.
Well, the one thing that I do when I go watch the game or when I pull up clips with them, I will watch them on the bench. And I will show them how they are on the bench as well. And it's having that conversation, okay, well, if once the game is over, because essentially when you on the bench, I try to tell my guys, that's not bad. It's basketball, but it's not basketball in terms of you're not on the floor, right? So if you think of it, you're done playing for that moment and you off to the next thing. What is your attitude in that next thing? So I try to use how I see them on the bench to address the life after basketball. So you're done playing. Now it's the next thing. What do you want to be? Do you want to be the guy that just sit and not give anything? Or do you want to be the guy that's engaged, the guy that's involved in his community, the guy that's involved in his family? Because that's what everybody on the bench, that's your community. How engaged do you want to be in that community? That's your family. How engaged do you want to be with your family? Do you want to be just the slouch, right? So I try to use that to really talk about the life after the game for them.
I guess now you can give them diet plans.
You know it.
Yes, sir. Mendell down 45 pounds.
Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed.
Congratulations.
Appreciate it, man. Appreciate it.
Mendell, when you work a kid out, do you have like an optimal time limit you're looking for, or do you stick to an hour, or do you go past that, or how do you work that out, or is it vary per kid?
It varies per kid. Some kids would want to work with me. They want to do 2 hours, and then I won't see them again for 2 weeks. So I try to give them everything that they need within that time, and I give them homework. So if you're with me for 2 hours, next time I see you, we need ABC done. So the 2 hours that we spend, it was not wasted. All right. And I try to keep that to the 3 topic homework thing that I do with them. If we work 2 things, I add 1 to it. So you need to be better at these 2 and you start working on this, because that's what we're doing next. Kind of giving them something to look forward to.
Awesome. Thank you.
Appreciate it.
I got a last one, Mendell. How frequently do you entertain relationship with the kids' coaches? Like, you have a kid, you know his coach wants him to do this and that, but how do you know that? Do you call the coach, like, and how often do you call him? How do you know what's going to be the kid's role in his system or assistant coaches?
That's a great question, Max. The thing I try to do is stay in touch with the coach throughout the season. So we do the preseason conversation. Okay, we're gonna work with the kid, because I do minimum of 10 workouts in my packages. So I do a pre-season workout, and if we go into the season, then I check with the coach mid-season and say, hey, coach, we're about 5 workouts in. This is what we've been working on from the conversation. What are you seeing? Do you see improvement in practice? Where do you see change, or where do you see improvements are needed? And I take that. So next time I meet with the player, I would say, hey, had a conversation with your coach. He really sees the progress in this area, but he really wants us to focus in this area. So whatever workout we have planned, I try to dedicate 10 to 15 minutes to specifically address that coach's need, because that now create that understanding for everybody that we're all on the same page. And even for that player, now the player can say, oh, well, Coach Mendell told me to do this, but this coach is saying do that. Now the kid is stuck in between 2 coaches wanting 2 different things. My job is not to get the kid to do what I want. My job is trying to get the kid to do what his or her coach want out of them as best as they can do it. And we'll do the same thing after the season. Coach will evaluate the kid will evaluate his or herself, and then I'll get that back and kind of look at it, and I'll meet with that player and say, okay, this is where we started, this is where we end up. Do you want to continue the workout, or do you want to terminate it? And then we'll just go from there.
Thanks.
Mendell, great stuff, man. We appreciate you. You and Max both for sharing with us today. Well done.
Appreciate the time. Thanks you guys for checking in. Gratitude.
Yeah, everyone.